Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the summer high school devotional series here. Before we jump in, I just want to say I hope everyone is staying cool and beating the heat. My intention was to do another one of these outside because I personally really liked the one from last week when I was at Wright State in the Runkle Woods. That being said, it's really hot right now, so inside it is for today. Before we go much further, I want to read from the book of John, John 15, 1 through 8, and then you'll kind of see where we're going after I do that. John 15, 1 through 8. I am the true vine. My Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes, so that it will be even more fruitful. You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me as I also remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself, it must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. If you remain in me, you are like a branch. If you do not remain in me, you are like a branch is thrown away and withers. Such branches are picked up and thrown into the fire and burned. If you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. This is to my Father's glory that you bear much fruit, showing yourselves to be my disciples. So the reason I want to talk about this today is during the summer, I think for any of us, it's really easy to get out of a routine. I think we look at summer as a time for rest and relaxation. And I work in education, so I get it. And I certainly feel the same way. And furthermore, summer really should be that, a time to catch our breath, a time to maybe not run at such a grueling pace, a time for a little bit of rest and relaxation. And I think that's perfectly fine. I think the problem is if we allow that to go a little bit too far and we get out of a routine and we find ourselves not observing spiritual practices, the practices that help us, things such as going to church, reading our Bibles, praying, staying connected with the community, and things like that. So now, to go along with the verses that we read, I am in the house here, and as far as the visual aid goes, I don't actually have a vine that bears fruit in my house, unfortunately, but I do have something that I think will help illustrate the point here. I'm going to show you a ficus. So, for anyone who doesn't know, a ficus is a very easy to grow houseplant. I bought this a little over a year ago, and I've already taken some clippings off of it, and it's still probably about 3 times the size it was when I got it. And just to show you right here, this is a really new growth. This is also a very new growth. And how does this plant continue to have new growths? Specifically, how does this branch or vine, if you want to call it that, right here, how does that continue to grow? It stays connected to the plant, right? Because if I were to take some scissors and just trim that and cut that off, they would die very quickly, especially in this heat. So staying connected is going to be vitally important. Now, back when I was growing up, something the teachers always told us was that they expected the students would lose a month worth of learning over summer break. Meaning, I almost I guess put another way, kind of like that month you go to school in May is almost useless because you lose traction while you're on summer break. I don't know how much truth to that there really is. I mean, I think we certainly got out of our routines and things over summer break. I never especially felt dumber going back to school, but I definitely was out of a routine. Whether that's true or not, I certainly don't want to see us get out of our spiritual routines. In fact, it's my hope that when we have more time in our schedules, we can actually use that to press in to God, press in spiritually a little bit more, and perhaps spend more time in prayer, go for a walk or something like that, talk to God, maybe delve into more than a couple verses of Bible reading at a time, and things like that. So again, some ideas for staying connected are going to include youth group, church activities, reading the Bible and praying. Also, another good thing to think about might be look for opportunities to serve and opportunities to love your neighbor. I'll give you an easy example. If you have maybe an elderly neighbor who struggles with lawn care, I think it's a pretty easy example right there, something you could do to help out. And if you're not sure, I mean, that could be certainly something to take to God in prayer as well. I think when we look around, opportunities really are all around us. But if it's not something that's jumping out at you immediately, that's certainly something you can pray about as well. The last closing thought I have here is thinking about campfires. Now, at Camp Refuge Hill, here in a couple of weeks, we're going to have a campfire, and we've done several campfires already as a group, so I think we're well acquainted with campfires. Now, if I start a campfire and walk away from it and hopefully I don't burn a forest down, but assuming that doesn't happen, what's going to happen to that campfire? It's going to go out after a while. To maintain a fire, you have to put new logs on it. You have to take one of those fire pokers and jab at it a little bit, make sure it gets oxygen down beneath. It really takes maintenance to keep a fire going, and you certainly can keep a fire going for way longer if you do those things. If you leave it unattended, which again is not a good idea, but if you were just to perhaps even sit by it, not do anything, it'll slowly get smaller and smaller until it burns itself out. And obviously, metaphorically speaking here, spiritually, that's not where I want to see any of us wind up. So just a little bit of a reminder, stay plugged in, stay connected, spend time with God, spend time with people who keep you at your best. I love you guys, and hope to see you soon.